Hi Flosstube, I hope all's well. My name is Kirsty, Crafting Kirsty, here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. It is Thursday the 12th of October and I am back with my just over a monthly update where I'm going to talk about the cross stitch, quilting, knitting, crochet, all the things I've managed to make so far, and also a quick, well, reasonably quick recap on the Great British Sampler Weekend that I went to at the beginning of October. So as I said, I hope you're all well. It's a, bit of a grey, gloomy day here, typical sort of autumn. Life updates, not a huge amount. All the children are back at uni. And as I said, I've been to one retreat and I've got another one coming up in next weekend actually. So all good. Other than that, we're just chugging along. Right, cross stitching. The first thing I have is my finish. I managed to finish it. So I have finished the Morris Dancer by GigiR. I bought this chart in March of 2022 at the Essex Needles retreat. A group of us purchased it at the same time, and then another friend joined in later on. And then we started it in the May of 22, and I'd just done a bit on it. And then this year I decided that I wanted to get this finished by the time I went to the Great British Sampler Weekend, which was at the beginning of October. And I did. It was 9:30 on the Thursday evening, before I left on the Friday morning, but I got it finished. So here we go. This is the bed sheet. This is absolutely huge. So I've done this on 27 count Linda, because I just wanted it to be nice and easy. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it all in frame. So it is absolutely huge. I should have measured it actually to see what it's come out at. But the last time I think I spoke to you, take it down to here. And this is all done with a called for DMC with the exception of one conversion, which was the grey to the pink of the skin. So the grey, the DMC conversion, the skin was grey and I just changed it to a pink, so that means I have, and I think I can't remember what it calls for, what other threads it calls for, but I think in the Fancy floss it is a peachy colour. For some reason it just came up grey on the DMC. So I think I had done most of this border or some of this border, so I completed the border. Then I went down and I had the lady and gentleman to do, and all of their clothing is done in satin stitch. And I was actually really looking forward to doing that. And then I started on the gentleman and it was quite hard work. I was just struggling with the counting, to be honest with you. And so I ended up sort of just doing the colours that were on the outside, so I knew that I got the correct width, and then just filling it in. The lady's dress was far easier. And then the only modification I have done, apart from the blue fluff, is down on the bottom. You will see I've put the 5 initials of the ladies that I've stitched this with. So, because I'm looking backwards, so we start here, Chris Hind, EW for Elaine Wells, Ellie Welly Stitcher. Oh, KS, that would be me, and I've put the date. What date did I put? 2024, because that's the year that I finished it in. Is it 24 or is it 23? No, it's 23. Put the wrong year in it. So I'll be changing that to 23. God, if I had a brain, I really would be dangerous. Anyway, carry on. I can't believe I've done that. Okay, so we've got JD, Janet Dodd, and PH, Penelope_pins on Instagram. So that's the only change I've done. Oh, and the only other thing I didn't do was there should be crosses on these tops of these white fence posts, but mine were going to be very squished in because somewhere I have gone slightly wrong in this bottom section. And I should have a few more rows above. I should have at least one row above this grass area that I haven't got. Anyway, but you know, it all fitted in. It was all absolutely fine. I didn't actually have to jiggle everything. I just lost a bit of space. So here we go. This is it, finished and done. And I'm so pleased with it. I did enjoy it. I am pleased it's finished. I did enjoy it. And I mean, I have had throughout this year. So I think when I started, I had the border outline done and a bit of the top sort of layer done. And I'd given myself the 9 months, and there were a couple of months where I didn't touch it at all because I just didn't fancy it. And sort of in September, it was definitely a bit of it wasn't a chore, but I need to keep working every night on this now. But I didn't do huge amounts, so it wasn't hours and hours and hours. So yeah, so it was absolutely fine. So I'm delighted to have it done. I now need to find a frame for it. I need to cut all the threads off the back, etc., and then try and get it framed and stick it on a wall somewhere. So yeah, so that's it. And that was part of a sale with the name #GigiR Morris Dancer May Day Sal. So if you go to that hashtag, you'll see the other ladies' progress. We're all doing it on different counts of fabric. Oh, actually, that's the point. I have got a measuring tape here. I did think it would just be quite interesting to see what size it has actually come out to. And it is inches, 25¼ across, 25¼ inches across, and 28¾ inches down. So probably about a Haid size, really, I think, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I stitched it all in hand. It was easy stitching. I could see what I was doing. And yeah, it'll take up a bit of wall space. So that's fine. So that's my mega finish for the year, I think, quite likely. So I'm very, very pleased to have that done. So what else have I worked on? I have worked on the Fancy Blackett October Ride sale that I started this August with Elaine Wells, Ellie Welly Stitcher, who also has a YouTube, as I'm sure you all know, and Alison Stitching Whippet on Instagram, and Ali Stitcher on Instagram. And we are stitching Pineberry Lane, October Ride, Fancy Blackett. I think certainly Alison has definitely finished. I think Ali Stitcher has definitely finished. Elaine is cracking on, but I don't know whether she's finished yet or not. And this is as far as I've got. So I haven't got much more to do. I've got the pumpkin-headed lady and the broom, and then I will be done. I don't know what the fabric this is. I think it's probably a 32 count, or yeah, I think it's 32 count. But really enjoying it, and I took this with me actually to the retreat because from past experience I've learned I can't always see what I think I'm going to be able to see at the retreat. So I took this because this is a really easy stitch, and then I took another piece I'm about to show you that once I've got some lights I was able to see. So my aim is to get this one finished as soon as possible now, so I can get that off the whip pile as well. So the other whip I have worked on is Elizabeth Beaven 1835 from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. So I bought this for my birthday this year and started it as my birthday start. And I thought I should take it with me to the retreat to stitch on. So I did, and we had a lot of speakers at the retreat. Very good, but a lot of speakers at the retreat, so it's quite nice just to be able to sit and stitch on this. And we are, where are we? Here we are now. So this is stitched on, where's my little booklet, sorry, 35 count lamb's wool permin. And I think, as I explained in my last video, I was struggling because it's such a big piece. I was struggling to fold it all up and hold it in my hand comfortably. So I bought this frame that I'm still really, really enjoying. So whilst I was at the retreat, I think I stitched on the third bird along the top. So I sort of did all of this. And then I completed this little section, did the next 2 border pieces, and I did the butterfly. So yeah, so that's a very enjoyable stitch. It's quite a slow stitch because it's in a frame, but it is very enjoyable. So having finished the Morris Dancer, so as I was coming to the finish line on that, I thought, well, what would I like to pick up out of my whip basket next? And I've counted through, I think I've only got about 13 whips in my basket, but they are all huge, massive whips, or reasonably decent sized whips. And the 2 that were calling me, I've picked out, and I sort of thought, well, I might work on one week and one on the other week and see if I can get them, you know, keep swapping them and see if I can get them finished by Christmas. Having pulled them out, I don't think I will get them finished by Christmas. I wasn't as far ahead as I thought I was. But I do still think these are going to be the 2 main focus pieces from now through till Christmas, to see how far I can get with them. So the first one is Heloise Cornu 1896 from Reflets de Soie. So this is being stitched on 36 count vellum, and I think this is from Northumberland Sample House, this fabric. If it isn't, it's foxglove and lace linen. But anyway, so this is where we're at the moment, or not where, so I think when I picked it up, I think I've probably managed to do so from here downwards. But yeah, so I'm just working my way around this huge border. It's absolutely fine once you get into, there's not a rhythm to it, but you just work a bit at a time and it's absolutely fine. And then obviously when it meets, and you can see I've got the odd thread here and there. That's because they indicate where the closest pieces in the middle come to the border. So I have the least counting to do, so hopefully I get it correct. But yeah, I mean, I do absolutely love this. So this is a variegated red thread that is Hugs and Kisses from Cottage Garden Threads. And I buy mine from Poppy Patch in Northampton. So yeah, so it's absolutely lovely. But I've got a lot more to do on it than I thought I had. And I know my aim at the moment, because I'm quite enjoying just stitching on it every evening. And my aim is to get the board completed before I sort of either put it away or put it down and pick the next one up. And then I think I might come to a little bit of a standstill because I don't know what to do about the middle, and I only don't know with regards to what thread I would like to use. So I can either keep going with Hugs and Kisses, or I can pick out the dark shade in DMC and just do it all in the dark, or I can pick out the light shade in the DMC and do it all in the light, or I can do a mixture of both. Both. And I don't really know yet what I would like to do. I think possibly I might end up doing the alphabet and the words in one shade and the middle motifs in the other. So if you have any opinions, please do let me know. So I have been working on that for the last couple of nights. And then the other piece that had been calling to me that I haven't worked on yet, but I'm just going to show you because I might in a week or so's time pick it up and do a bit on it, is my Long Dog Samplers quilts. So you haven't seen these all year because I haven't touched them all year. And this is where I left this one once I put it away. It's gorgeous. I love the colours in these. I do enjoy stitching on it. It's reasonably blocky, so you can get quite a bit done in a go, with the exception of the border. But you know, I just keep bringing the border down as I get to the next section and bringing it down, and that's the easiest way to do it, I think. So yeah, so I love this. I'm not sure, I think this is just a 32 count something white. It's a Zweigart, it's got the orange stripe. So yeah, so I'm down to, sorry, just put that away. I am down to here. Oh, I've got another card, so I still need to finish that that section. But then these bands go reasonably quickly, and then I've got this and this. But those quilts are going to take quite a bit of stitching, I think. So yeah, so those are the two that I'm going to possibly flip and interchange throughout until Christmas, and just see if I can get another finish. That's great. If I can get another 2 finishes, woohoo! Doubt that's going to happen. But those will be the 2 that you'll be seeing for a little while now. And that is, I've shown you that piece, sorry. So that is the end of my cross stitching. I'm going to talk about the retreat now, the Great British Sampler retreat. I'm not going to go into huge details because it was very full on and I really can't remember it all. It was really, really good, but there was just speaker after speaker after speaker, and it's just like, oh my God. So yeah, it was a fantastic weekend. The hotel was the Doubletree by Hilton, or Doubletree from Hilton, at Swindon. And yeah, can't fault the hotel. You know, the food was great, the staff were lovely, rooms were very nice. The room that we were in was fabulous. As in the stitching room that we were in was absolutely fantastic. It was very well organised. It was very well organised from the start. You know, sorry, I've got to go to a running nose. We were allowed into the room at 4 o'clock on the Friday afternoon, and we had to be out by 5 o'clock on the Sunday. And the goodies that we have been given is just quite unbelievable, really. So on the Friday, we were given our sort of week's project or weekend project, and it came in the fish and chip box. And you'd already said which linen that you would like within this box. And we received the pattern A. Robson, 1897. We also received some lovely linen. I can't remember what count I asked for now, probably 32 count. And we also received the Soie de GigiR, the red and the green, to stitch the piece. And then there was a lovely tin that takes me a little while to work out how to open. Hobby House Needleworks, I love that. Scissor magnet, or needle minder. A cloth for cleaning your glasses. The sampler motif on it, a couple of counting pins. I'm very pleased to have got these because I often think to myself I need counting pins. So they will come in very handy. A few, I think these are sort of for your threads, you know, so if you're doing a 1 or 2 colour project, you can wind them onto those. And then a bit of lace to finish it off with. We also got given a sort of basically a water bottle full of ground walnut shells, lizard litter. So I was standing in the queue. Janet was in front of me. She said, "Why are they giving us soil?" And Chris was behind me. She said, "That's a lot of coffee." I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a very long weekend, isn't it? It's lizard litter to fill your pillow with. Anyway, that was quite amusing. It did stump a few people. So that was our first goodie that we got given on the Friday evening, or Friday afternoon tea time. And then when we came in on the Saturday, they had placed in front of all of us, every single table. We had, so this is the back. Oh, this is the front. How lovely is this? It's fantastic. So, not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I will find something to do with it, not really sure what yet. But yeah, really, really pleased with that. It's absolutely lovely. And the drawers were very helpful for putting stuff in. We also received a lovely little red bag with this cube and scissors. So a lot of these things have come from Hobby House Needleworks. A lot of things have come from Hands Across the Sea. I think Hobby House Needleworks sponsored the weekend, which was very good of them. Tabby Cat linens were there, and she had an entire wall, or the entire width of the room, length of the room, width of the room. She had set up her tables, and there was just so much linen. It was unbelievable the amount of linen there was in the room. And I, of course, was saying, I don't need any, I don't need any, I don't need any. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to have to buy something. So I bought some 36 count Edinburgh, just the ticket. And I got a full yard's worth of this. And I did have the plan in the back of my mind for a long time. I've always thought I'd quite like to almost do a sort of cross-stitch diary where, you know, you could do the month, and then if we've been off anywhere, any sort of motifs that remind me of where we've been or where we've stayed or what we've done, quite like to stitch within that little area of the month, and then keep going. But I don't really know whether it'll work. And I know Liz from, no, not, I can't remember which one it is, Country Stitchers, one of those ladies is doing her own where she's done a medallion in the middle, and then she's just adding lots of motifs from charts that she probably isn't actually going to end up stitching, and she's just making up her own sampler like that. And of course hers looks fantastic, but she is very, very arty, and I'm not, so I don't think mine will look so good. So I don't know yet whether I'm going to do that, but I mean, whatever I do, I've got a lot of linen to do it on, so that's lovely. And then there were just bits being left on the table everywhere by everybody. I mean, I've got this gorgeous key fob, a flag button needle minder, lots of floss cards. I mean, with some, oh sorry, with some more floss cards on it. This came from Traditional Stitches. It's a sort of a measuring stick. Rebecca of Hedgerow Stitching gave us some seeds. I don't know what sort of seeds they are, so that'll be quite interesting. Put them in and see what grows. Oh, okay, another needle minder. And the problem was, every time you left your table, somebody put something down in front of you. And so you'd come back and think, well, who's left this? So I never really got to thank many people. I managed to track 1 or 2 people down. Didn't manage to catch everybody. But I know this came from Tuppence Penny, who is Leslie. Then you see floss, so that's lovely. And then basically every speaker seemed to give us something. So we've received a Bristol Red sampler from Claudia Dutcher. So it's all got a bit muzzled up. Oh, Tabby Cat gave us this chart. We received this chart from the Old Willow Stitchery. We received Christina's Hidden Queen Self-Lined Needlebook by Cissy Bailey Smith, Gentle Pursuit Designs. So this is a complete pamphlet. It has lots of information and yeah, all the details you need to make that. we received, and I think Sharon, Shaz Bruce, has already finished this, a Bristol sampling from Violets and Verses. That is actually really, really nice. I think Sharon's looks very, very good. We've got the band to do it on, as well as 8.15 DMC, and a packet of cup of soup, which is a very long story. It's one of those you had to be there stories. But yeah, so that was very kind. We received from Crossstitch Antiques, Annie Matilda Moss, Daglingworth School, 1872. Kathleen Littleton was the lady who gave the speech. So that was very kind of her. And then from Red Barn Samplers, we received Sarah Sophie Rayton, or Railton, 1796, a sampler snippet. This is lovely. Love the colours in that. And she also gave us some linen. Very, very kind of her. So this is 40 count, medium dark, fat quarter of Mason linen button box. Never heard of them before, but it's a lovely linen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see that. Oh, I should be able to. But yes, so I think that was the majority of the speakers. We had Whitney Antiques gave a talk. That was very good. And then on the Saturday evening, had Tom Sudders, I think. He was the after dinner speaker, and he used to be the royal photographer on the Royal Yacht Britannia. He did a couple of tours with them taking photos. So fantastic speech, really, really good. Only complaint was that it was too short. He had said about 35 minutes, which I'm sure is more than long enough for him, but we could have listened to him all evening. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, I also received, look at this. So good. And then I think on the Saturday, Native Lighting. Is it Native Lighting? Yes, Native Lighting, sorry. I think, were they there for the Saturday and the Sunday? I think they were there for the entirety of the weekend. But I had pre-ordered, and you got 15% off if you pre-ordered, the clip-on mini light, which, sorry, I should have got it out actually. I thought, I had hoped that I would be able to clip this onto my frame for the Elizabeth Beaven. And I can, it does fit on. And as long as I do the pin stitch, that's absolutely fine. But at one point I was trying to flip it whilst this was attached to it. So it just has that and turns, is it going to turn on? No, I think I've run out of battery because it is rechargeable. Yes, it is oh no, I've turned it off. That's not, I did have this, just as I said. There we go. You can see the various colours coming through. Turn it off again. It is quite sensitive, so you can end up with a bit of a disco occasionally whilst you're stitching. So yeah, really, I'm really pleased with this. It's a fantastic light. And I also bought from them the rechargeable neck lights, which essentially, as you would think, go around your neck and then do that. So they were very good as well. So and they're very lightweight, very lightweight. You really don't know that you've got them on at all. And obviously these bits wiggle and move, so you can bend them to your will. Okay. Rechargeable neck light from Native Lighting. And then on the Sunday, I'm running out of space to put everything in. On the Sunday, again, we had some more speakers, and then there was a raffle in the afternoon. Well, it was less of a raffle. You were given a raffle ticket and you went up and you were given a sort of door prize or a door bag. And then I think there were 7 people that received a red envelope in their bag. and they'd won like the top 7 prizes, and there were some unbelievable prizes. One lady won a necessaire floor stand and frame. I know one lady won a very, very valuable cross-stitch book. What else did people? Oh, it was just unbelievable. These 7 sort of top prizes were amazing. So in the bag, and everyone's bag was slightly different charts in it. I personally received 2 packs of cards. So I got Sarah Millthorpe and Lucy Barber. So yeah, I got 2 of those. I received a Whitney Antiques Now Whilst My Hands Are Thus Employed, 3 Centuries of Historic Samplers book, which is absolutely lovely. My only, not complaint, but my only thing being, I hope that's been reproduced. I hope that's been reproduced, and I don't think a lot of these have. Look at that one. That is just, look at the grass, look at the field. Oh, I just love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, so that's a very nice book. Anne Lee, 1835, A Jersey Lily from Mill on the Floss Samplers. Sarah Howarth, 1835, When I Was Young, I Little Thought. Anne Ogden, 1843, from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. And LM 1940 to 1970, a Soie Iddy. Sorry, I think I probably said that incorrectly. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, you know, that's nice, but I don't think it's something I would stitch. But actually, I think it is. I do really, really like it. So, and then finally, so my friend Chris and I have finally met, you'll be pleased to hear, after many years of trying to make it happen. And so we gave each other a present, and I made her a project bag, and she very kindly gave me the Wintertide cardinal, and it also has the thread and the linen in the back of it. So that was lovely. So very, very good weekend. Great fun. Oh, the table. So the table I was on, we had Chris, who is Bronte Stitcher, my friend Chris, sitting next to me. Sharon, Shaz Bruce, we met the, I don't know, the goddess that is Sharon. She is just like such a cross-stitching god, it's unbelievable. So she was lovely. Janet Dodd was with me. Penelope Pins was with me. I met Susan, who is Susan38 on Instagram. She was lovely. Smurfette Stitches, who is Adele. She used to have a Flosstube. We were trying to bully her into making another one, but I think she's a bit busy at the moment. She was also with us. And Tuppence Penny, who is Leslie, joined us as well. And so we had a fantastic table, lovely, lovely group of ladies. As usual, had a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. I also met Sean Parrington. Hi, Sean. So she'd been saying for about the last year, I'm going to be there, it'll be nice to meet you. So we met up and had a chat. She's a lovely, lovely lady, delighted to meet her. Re-met Megan, the Blue Crab Stitcher. I met her last year in Stitch in London. And so we had a catch up. She's not coming, unfortunately, this year because she's obviously just been over for the Great British Sampler Weekend. Michelle, Mama Loves You GB was there. Rebecca from Hedgerow Stitching, I said hello to her. Ruthie from Crow's Feet Stitching was there. I briefly said hello to her, but we did realise that we were both going to Stitch in London, so it'll be nice to have a chat to her, with her, in a couple of weeks' time. And I also met Stacey, who is the 911 Stitcher. And I've watched Stacey's Flosstube for a long time. I have... I used to join in on their Zooms when they had the first few Zoom meetings. I haven't quite so much recently, but I did sort of go up and say, oh, you know, hello, you don't know me. She said, yes, I do. I remember you from the Zoom meetings. And we also have a common chart. We're both stitching, and it's just gone from my brain, just as I said it has gone. The Burlington County sampler, it's my Mega Bap, and I can't remember its name. It's the huge one. No, can't remember it, it's just gone completely. Anyway, we're both stitching that, and we had sort of had a discussion online with regards to the speciality stitches and what we thought we would be doing with them. So yeah, so it was lovely to meet her and to chat to her. She was very friendly, very nice. Yeah, so that's pleased to have done that. So it was just, everyone was lovely and friendly. It was nice to meet everyone, but yeah, really pleased that those people in particular I got to say hello to. And I think that's it. That is going to be it for the recap. I've shown you everything that we've got. Everything that we got basically connected around a speaker. But yeah, we just had a really, really good weekend. It was great fun. So I'm going to go on to quilting now. If you're leaving me here, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I will see you again in a couple of weeks' time. Quilting wise, I haven't done much because obviously most of September was taken up with my Morris dancer, but I did do, so I've done on my caution, hang on, I've got a photo here, so if I can pull it up quickly enough. Yeah, so I am trying to make the caution Curves Ahead from Jen Kingwell. It's a monthly quilt along that is coming. I'm receiving it from So Hot. My brain is just empty today. So Hot UK. And I just received the pattern and the template. So I'm using my own fabrics, the majority, 99% of which are some laundry basket fabrics that I've had in my stash for a while. So I did another one of these. I think you might have seen this one, or you might have seen the other one. I've got one more of these to do. And then a couple of days ago I picked up, so each month one is a pieced block, either hand pieced or machine pieced, and the other block is an applique block. And I've done quite a few of the applique blocks, but all I've done is stick them on. I haven't sewn them down yet. And I was sort of in two minds about how I was going to do that. And I've ended up hand stitching them down. So you can't really see, well, you can see a bit from there. You can't really see from there. This is the first one I've done. So there's the back. So I'm quite pleased with that, actually. I've got lots and lots of spools of threads from various magazine giveaways or sign up freebies. So I think I'll be able to match the colours fairly well. And I did enjoy doing that. I did enjoy doing it by hand. I did think it's going to take me a while. Maybe I should machine stitch them, but actually I prefer to do it by hand. I think I'll be able to do it neater by hand as well. So that was all I've achieved on that so far. And then my Jane Austen quilt, I have managed to get a bit done on that. So you'll see lots of doggy bags, or lots of bags here. So sorry. This is the Jane Austen quilt, or Jane Austen coverlet. And so essentially you've got the centre medallion, and then you have 9 diamonds making up larger diamonds. And so I have probably rearranged my fabrics 3, if not 4 times for this now. But I'm at a point where I'm now just going ahead with it. And you won't see many of the fabrics here, but essentially, sorry about the noise. Let me just take one of these things out. I have now cut, because this is all English paper pieced. So I have cut out a diamond's worth, and I've done the, oh, I had another hoo-ha with my sashing strips. Oh, it's me. Well, actually, no, it isn't me. So within the chart, let me show you. Let me just show you. I need to put this back in here. Anyway, so sorry, I've done lots of bags of the bigger diamonds, and then I've just put here, because I've numbered the diamonds, And then that's the layout essentially. I know what that means of the diamonds. So if we're going away, or if I'm going in the car, or if I just want to, I don't have to pick everything up. I can just pick this up, my needle and thread, and I can get a diamond stitched. And I have managed to put one together. I should have ironed it. So this is one of them. So I think this one, there will be another one, if not, there'll certainly be another one, because it's all very symmetrical, this quilt. But this, on the next one, it'll go that way, essentially. But yeah, so this one, it doesn't actually look that bad now. When I was initially sort of laying it out, I thought, oh, there's quite a lot of grey in that. But then there'll be other blocks where there'll be more colours, and yeah, it's absolutely fine. I just need to do it now. I just need to get on with it. And again, I do enjoy it when I'm doing it. I've just faffed about the colours so much. And then, sorry, we're going to talk about sashing, because it's just, I couldn't believe it. If I've got the correct thing here. Oh, I have. So this is basically, yeah. So this is basically the layout of it. So you can see the numbers there are where I've divided up the larger diamonds, and that's how they'll be sort of all pieced together and then joined together. So 8, 2, 6 and 4 have all got, so these 8, 2, 4 and 6 have all got identical fabrics in them. They're just flipped or mirror image, so it's all very symmetrical. But on this chart, let me just check before I say it, and then everyone says, no, you're talking a load of rubbish. So if you look at the sashing strips here, on this side, you've got the longer sashing here, and the shorter sashing is this way. So as you're looking at it, the longer sashing is on the right of the diamond, and the short sashing is on the left of the bottom of the diamond. When you go to the other side, so if you look at number 4, the sashing is, and it's not showing this properly because it's, I think it might be back to front. No, it's back to front to me, so it should be fine to you. The sashing looks like you have the longer piece on the left and the shorter piece on the right. So that's what I've been doing. And this is a photocopy from within this work booklet pattern that I received. And so I made lots of photocopies so I could scribble all over it and, you know, sort my colours out and things. But then when you start to look at the other charts, all of the sashing, all of the long sashing, well, all of the sashing is on the same side, wherever you are within the pattern. And again, yeah, if you look at this one, let's divide it up. The long sashing is all on the left-hand side of all the diamonds. And I had been working off of this chart where the sashing was reversed. So I'm hoping I'm going to have enough sashing. I'm sure I will, because I bought meters and meters and meters of it. I'm hoping I will have enough, because I've done quite a few the opposite way, and they don't, I can't flip because of the way it's cut. If I try and peel it back, put it in the other way, the angle's all wrong. So that was my hoo-ha for this month for the Jane Austen quilt. It doesn't seem that I'm going to be able to get through a month of trying to work on this without realising I've made another boo-boo. But in my defence, I think that's their boo-boo, not my boo-boo. Anyway, enough of the boo-boos. So that's it. And going forwards, I'll just keep on working on those 2 quilts for the moment. I might, if we have a wet weekend, try and just get something through the machine to have a small finish of some sort. So that's it for quilting. So if you're leaving me now, because I've got crochet and knitting still to talk about, if you're leaving me now, thank you very much. And I hope to see you again next month. Right, so crochet, I finished my Attic 24 Fireside blanket. So I think when I last spoke to you, I had all this middle section done and I was just starting to work on the borders. So I have now completed it. I absolutely love it. I'm not going to open it all out, but that's a sort of essentially, that's the quarter of it. And I had quite a lot of, did I have quite a lot of yarn left over? I think there might have been one colour where I've changed it because I didn't have enough and I wasn't going to get around the border. But other than that, as ever, very well stocked pattern and kit. I bought it as a kit from the Wool Warehouse. Yeah, really enjoyed making it and love the end piece. And then I'm now, crochet-wise, I'm now working on, oh God, hang on a minute, sorry, they've all fallen on the floor. I'm now working on a granny square daisy blanket for my daughter. So my eldest daughter has got a job and has moved into a flat with her boyfriend. They've got their first flat together, which we've been to see. It's absolutely lovely. And I said, oh, would you like me to crochet you a blanket? And she said yes. Whilst we were down there, we went to Hobbycraft and she chose the colours. I had shown her somewhere, oh God, hang on a minute, because I might actually need, where is it? Oh, here it is, sorry. So I had shown her this pattern on Ravelry and so said, would you like something like that? And she said, yes, please. So this is a chunky daisy blanket designed by Stephanie Jessica Lau at www.allaboutamy.com. But as I said, you can find it on Ravelry. And so we went in and she chose these colours, which I have to say are not my colours at all. In fact, we're very, very different in taste-wise. It's quite amusing. It's now got to the point where I just think, oh, yeah, I'm not that keen on that. Oh, Emma will like it though. So anyway, so these are the colours that she chose. So we're having the daisy in the middle, and then it's being surrounded by pink. So I have made about, I think there's 16 or 17 here at the moment. I haven't actually stuck to this pattern, so I've ended up merging this pattern with a pattern I found on YouTube, or a tutorial I found on YouTube from the Adore Crea Crochet. She has a crochet daisy square, and this calls for chunky yarn, and this obviously isn't chunky yarn, and just particularly for the edges, for the two borders, this lady's particular pattern, it just became very, very holy, and yeah, it just didn't look that great. So I've sort of merged the two patterns together to suit the yarn. And this is what we're getting. And then I should imagine I'll put all of these together and do a couple of borders, a couple of rounds of border to give it a bit more strength. I am weaving my ends in as I go because I am a good girl. And I will start, I'm actually going to use the Fireside blanket a bit as a size reference. I'll start sewing these together. I think I'm going to need about 90 odd. And I said I'd have it done by Christmas. Anyway, the yarn we are using is the Women's Institute Premium Acrylic Yarn, DK, 4mm crochet, 4mm needles, and it just comes from Hobbycraft. The white is actually a different make, and it is thinner, but I don't think it really makes a huge amount of difference to the end result, to be honest with you. So that's my current crochet project. And then knitting, I have finished a second sock. I finally have a pair of socks, and they look a bit dodgy because I've been wearing them for the last couple of weeks. I only tend to, so this is yarn that I received from, or that I was gifted by Alison, the Stitching Whippet, this March at the Essex Needles retreat, and I've lost the ball, but it's just a very nice sock yarn. I know the colourway is Monet. I can't speak, I'm sorry. And this is just a simple vanilla sock magic loop from Kay the Crazy Sock Lady. It'll be interesting to see. So I love wearing these at the moment, but at the moment I wear them more sort of pyjama socks. So in the evening when I get changed into my pyjamas, I put these on and my slippers on, and then I'm lovely and toasty and warm. And I'm a bit funny with my feet. If my feet are cold, the rest of me is cold, so my feet have to be warm, but they also overheat very quickly. And I do wonder whether this inside a welly boot when I'm walking the dog might be a bit too hot, unless it's in the thickest of winter. But I love wearing them. They fit absolutely brilliantly. The only thing I have done is, and you can see from here, so this was the first one I did, and I cast on and then went straight into the ribbing, which is what the pattern calls for. And this second one I cast on and I just did a round of knitting, because I find it quite difficult in that initial cast on and setup stage with the ribbing. I quite often get it wrong and have to pull it out and start again. So I just thought, will it make much difference if I just do one round of knitting and then go into the ribbing? And it really does. It really flares. I mean, it's absolutely fine. It's not falling down my leg or anything, but it is quite significant, the difference it makes. So next time I'm just going to have to suck it up and do it properly. But yeah, so a finished pair of socks. Yay! And when the first time, so I think I knit, this was the very first sock that I knit this year. I was like, I don't know if I'm overly keen on this. But actually I really enjoy knitting socks now. I don't think I'll ever get into huge fancy patterns, but just as a travel option, this is a really, really good one, just to grab and go, because you can just do it. And then the other thing I have knitted, started and finished, I think, since my last video. And the only reason I'm not wearing it, I went to put it on just before I started filming, and I haven't blocked it yet. And it is rolling quite significantly at the bottom, and it was just annoying me. So I decided I wanted to knit a Friend to Friend by Leslie Friend, who is a friend to knit with on YouTube. Her videos are really good. I love her videos. So this is the design. So essentially, I don't know if that would be called a shrug or bolero. No, I think it's more of a shrug, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, so essentially it's just sort of a bit of a turtleneck and comes down to your elbow. And I decided to use, because you are supposed to use chunky, and I used Chunky Tweed by King Cole. And again, this is 72% acrylic, 25% wool, 3% viscose, 151 yards or 138 meters to 100 grams. And this is in the shade Sky, S-K-Y-E. And so I love the yarn. So it's got all these different flecks of colour in, or tweed, I suppose. And I just thought that with blue jeans and a shirt underneath it is gonna, you can pick any colour, or you don't even have to have blue jeans, do you? Any colour, or, oh, that's a bit better. Any colour will be picked up in those, and it looks good. So this is the top, and comes out down to the bottom. I just did, so there was ribbing. So this is worked bottom up, and you start with some ribbing at the bottom, work your way up, and I followed a really simple pattern to follow, really good, very, loved it, enjoyed knitting on it. I sort of getting to the point where I was doing the shaping for the shoulders and the decreases, and then today, it's not very long. And I still haven't actually done a gauge count, but I thought when I did my gauge count for this, I had just about hit gauge. I thought it's not very long, it's not very long. Anyway, so I put it on and it came out, it sort of came to about here rather than down here. And I thought, oh God, what am I going to do? And because it's worked bottom up and all I needed to do was lengthen the bottom, I didn't need to do any more shaping, I just needed to make it longer. How do I sort that out? So I went on to YouTube and I found a video, and I'm sorry, I haven't saved it. So if you're desperate, I'll see if I can try and find it. But I found a video where this lady teaches you to pick up the stitches at the bottom and then you cut. So I cut the ribbing off of it and then I just carried on knitting. So as you can see down the side within the pattern, it asks you to do one purl so that you get this sort of seam down the side, and it went straight into the ribbing, and so that's obviously why I've cut it off. And whilst I managed to pick up all my stitches, I had the correct number of stitches, and you know, sort of I cut away and it all went, oh, okay, fine. I couldn't quite work my head around, I'd obviously done something, I don't know whether I twisted my stitch at the purl or, oh, I think because this is also the start of round, so it does get a little bit confusing there, what it did for me. And so I just thought, I don't know where my purl has gone, so I'm just going to ignore it. So I just carried on in knitting the whole way, knitting in the round all the way down. So as you can see, I've lost that seam, but it's really no biggie for me. And yeah, I just carried on and knitting and knitting and knitting until I felt it was the correct length. And then I've just done an I-cord bind off on the bottom because I do quite like those. And I just need to block it. Yeah, but this is it. And so it's just annoying me. I was going to wear it today, but it rolls up like this at the moment, and it rolls up quite a lot when it's on. But yeah, so I'm really, really pleased with that. So it is a very, very simple pattern. I don't know quite why, because it fits absolutely perfectly. I just don't know quite why it proved to be that bit shorter on me. As I said, I haven't checked my gauge against what it should be. I did do a gauge swatch initially, but whether it's just come out slightly different, I don't know. But I mean, it really was, I need, you know, yes, it was quite a few inches short. But easy to fix, as I've now found out, and I'm really quite chuffed that I've done that because it's another tool on my belt, on my knitting belt. And I think that's about it at the moment. I think I'm not going to start anything knitting wise whilst I've got Emma's crochet blanket to do. I want to get as much of that done as possible because obviously there is a bit of a deadline for that. And other than that, I think I'm just going to keep on keeping on. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a good, I'm going to the Stitch in London. So I've got another retreat coming up next. So a week tomorrow. I'll be heading down to London to the Stitch in London retreat organised by Marie Stitches and Diamonds. So I'm really, really looking forward to that, catching up with a few people that I met there last year. Did I only go for 1 or 2 days last year? I think I went for the Friday and the Saturday, but I didn't stay for the Sunday, or maybe I can't remember where I stayed last year. Or maybe I turned up on the Saturday. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm doing the full weekend this time. So I will aim, hopefully, to be back beginning of November, where I will have more retreat stuff to talk about, and hopefully more progress will have been made on my projects. And I might have learned to talk by then. Oh, and I will have rechanged the date on my Morris dancer. Can't believe I've done that. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely month. And I will catch up with you all later. Bye.